to a marriage that probably should never have happened. We're going back to just over 25 years ago and to the iconic EastEnders episode that was dubbed Sharongate after Sharon Mitchell confessed on tape that she had had sex with her husband's brother, Phil.
Oh, it was juicy in those days,
It was really
well
juicy.
juicy.
So good. But if someone in your family had an affair with your husband, would you do a Grant Mitchell type expose everything in a huge showdown, ideally in a pub?
Well, I mean, I just sort of... They're really great in a pub. I just sort of think, do people really do that? But actually, as I'm sitting here, I'm remembering that a similar thing happened to Mark, where he'd had a dalliance with an ex. So he had his ex and he had a dalliance with somebody else.
It's a great word.
Yeah, and the person he'd had the dalliance with got somebody to take photographs of her sat on his lap. And then she sent them to Mark's partner at the time.
Oh.
And then he was sat at work and she came in, flew into the office and flung them on the table.
Ooh.
I mean, he said he deserved it, but he said it was just so humiliating. So I suppose it is a good thing to do because if you want to humiliate somebody. But I always worry it's a bit of a borderline because you could end up hurting yourself more.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know, that's an incredibly painful thing to happen. And then are you just putting yourself in the position where people could... Because one of the worst things is people knowing, isn't it? It's always this thing, how many people knew, what did people know? I think that can be the real problem when something's gone on. So I don't think I would. I think I would do something very privately. I would do something very private.
Yeah, but revenge would run through your veins.
But it would be private.
But it would be private revenge. What about you, Kelly?
Oh, you know, sadly, I've actually been in that position where I've been cheated on. And I had this sort of gut. You had this gut instinct that something was going on. So I followed him anyway. Long story very short, I did kind of find them together. And it wasn't a very nice situation to happen. But I did, for the first moment, I felt good because, like, you know, like as a woman, you've kind of got this little instinct, this little niggle that says something's going on. And they're, you know, usually they'll go, oh, deny it, nothing's happening, nothing's happening. But I did feel really good to know that actually what I felt was the truth, so that I was more confident in following my own gut in actually, yes, you know what, you were right about this. So that made me feel good about myself because sometimes if you're in, you know, and I've been in abusive relationships before, and when you're in that kind of situation, the kind of what they do is kind of, you know, really sort of sweep you up and make you feel like your thoughts are not what they are, and they try to sort of coerce you. And so for me, that was a turning point in that relationship to know, actually, no, trust your own gut. So yeah, I was glad that I did it. Didn't, you know, I think for me, it kind of spiraled into a very different situation, but I was very proud of myself for following my gut and finding out that I did know the truth and that my instinct
and knowing it was time to move on, obviously,
so
as well.
horrid.
Kelly, exactly.
So horrid.
See, I can't imagine you having a showdown, Jane.
Do you know what? In
You'd
my
be much
head,
more
I would.
composed, I think.
Yeah, in my head I would, but in reality, what I'd probably do is I'm very much like a get all my ducks in a row kind of person.
Yes,
I like to kind of keep control
You'd be organised
of
about the
everything.
showdown.
And then, you know, filter out my reaction further down the line once I know all my, you know, all the
Revenge
information.
is sweet when it
So
is cold.
The first thing I would do is I would be like, you know, bye, darling, have a lovely day at work. Next thing, locksmith.
Oh
yeah.
planning.
Change the lock. So the first they would know would be when they came back and they couldn't get into their own house. And
That's
then,
a good one, isn't it?
And then I would deal with it probably in some way. But yeah, I love the idea of a showdown, but I probably wouldn't do it.
No, I know. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out.
Really?
You'd
You'd be
showdowner.
really calm,
I
wouldn't
think
you,
I'd like to
Christine?
think I was calm, but you know, isn't it funny how your mind can go to weird places? I was watching Fatal Attraction the other night on the telly. Oh, it's brilliant.
It's such a good
so
film.
it's just fantastic. But you get so sucked into it, don't you? I, of course, was the innocent wife on the right-hand side there, and you just, oh, I hated
Does Frank
him.
have a pet rabbit?
I
Particularly fond of?
don't even go there, honestly. Aside from reality, though, watching it on the telly, it's good viewing.
Do you think you'd do a showdown then?
No, I probably wouldn't. But again, inside my own head,
You think,
there would be
yeah.
a massive
Yeah.
showdown, and that would,
Yeah.
in itself, I think, make me feel a bit better.
And we'd look gorgeous, and we'd have
yeah,
we'd
yeah.
have thigh-high
and then you
boots.
just move on really quickly. Yeah.